Welcome. This presentation will provide an overview of the duties and responsibilities of certain municipal officials who are involved in the financial management of a municipality. Because teamwork is necessary to achieve good financial management, we believe each local official should understand the roles of all the other local officials and how local officials interact to further this mutual goal. We will review the duties and responsibilities of the selectman, mayor, and city manager, city council and town meeting, finance committee, assessors, collector, treasurer, accountant and auditor, and clerk. Whether you work in a city or town, the municipality's organizational structure must include an executive branch. In towns, an elected select board serves as the chief executive branch with responsibility for developing overall policy and coordinating the general operations of town government. The select board appoints some officials in the town, whether it be in accordance with state statute, a charter provision, or local bylaw. The board signs debt issues, notes and bonds, to permit the treasurer to borrow. The select board issues town meeting warrants and negotiates collective bargaining agreements for all departments except schools. The select board also has several specific duties regarding the town's financial operations. First, the select board is involved in the budget process by preparing the budget or by reviewing budget proposals. Second, the board plays a role in tax policy by voting to place a Proposition 2.5 override, debt exclusion, or capital outlay exclusion question on the ballot. The select board also decides the allocation of the tax levy among property classes under the classification law through a flat rate or split tax rate. Third, the board approves vendor and payroll warrants for payment by the treasurer. In a city, the mayor or city manager is the chief executive officer. The mayor has all the duties of the select board in towns. In a city, however, the mayor prepares and submits the budget to the city council, which can only approve, reduce, or reject the mayor's budget proposal. The city council cannot increase items or vote other items that the mayor has not proposed. However, there are narrow exceptions to this general rule. Finance committees operate only in towns and are sometimes called the Appropriations Committee, the Warrant Committee, or the Advisory Committee. Finance committee members can either be elected or appointed as provided in the town's bylaws. Depending on the local bylaw, the Finance Committee either submits the budget at the annual town meeting or reviews the budget submitted by the Select Board. By statute, the Finance Committee has an advisory capacity with regard to all municipal matters. It is town meeting, however, which is full appropriating authority. The Finance Committee has exclusive control of the town's reserve fund, which is a contingency fund appropriated by town meeting to provide for extraordinary or unforeseen expenditures. An example would be the necessary repair of the boiler in the town high school, which unexpectedly broke down. The Finance Committee also approves year-end transfers proposed by the Select Board during May, June, and the first 15 days of July to address year-end shortages. With the exception of the school and the light department appropriations, transfers of unspent and unencumbered appropriations could be made to any other appropriation. All cities and towns have assessors who assess real estate and personal property taxes, as well as motor vehicle excise taxes. These taxes are a major source of revenue for municipalities. Among their duties, the assessors prepare and maintain an accurate property database by reviewing deeds, condominium conversions and forms of list, and by updating all valuation information on the property record cards. Second, the assessors classify real estate into 4 classes: residential, industrial, commercial, and open space. Classification is important in shifting the tax burden between residential and commercial classes. Third, the assessors determine the valuation of property as of the January 1st assessment date, which requires the assessors to be knowledgeable of the various appraisal methodologies. Fourth, the assessors prepare and submit the annual tax rate recapitulation sheet, which must be approved by the Commissioner of Revenue. Fifth, once the tax rate is approved, the assessors prepare a tax list and warrant and commit taxes to the collector. Sixth, the assessors grant abatements and exemptions to taxpayers who must file timely applications with the assessors. Seventh, the assessors commit motor vehicle excise bills to the collector. A city or town clerk is the municipality's official record keeper. The city or town clerk keeps records such as the vital record of births, deaths, and marriages. The clerk issues licenses, permits, and certificates. The city or town clerk conducts the annual census and creates a street list of residents. The city or town clerk serves as the municipality's chief election officer. In a town, the clerk sends all new bylaws to the Attorney General for review and approval. Only in a city, the clerk keeps all the municipality's contracts. The city or town clerk records all the votes of the legislative body and certifies the results of all Proposition 2.5 referenda elections. The city or town clerk gives the oath of office to newly elected and appointed officials and re-elected and reappointed officials, including those elected to the select board and city council as mayor, and those appointed are elected as treasurer, collector, assessor, accountant, or auditor. The person must be sworn before performing official duties. After giving the oath of office to local officials, the clerk should then update the DLS local officials directory to ensure timely notices from DLS are sent to the municipality's current local officials. The tax collector is a bonded official who is responsible for billing and collecting all taxes committed by the assessors. The collector has certain remedies if taxes remain unpaid. Tax takings are the best remedy to enforce collection of real estate taxes. A tax taking perfects the municipality's lien on the property. For unpaid personal property taxes, there is no lien. Consequently, the collector could bring a civil suit against the taxpayer. Alternatively, the municipality, upon acceptance of a local option statute, could deny or revoke certain licenses for non-payment. With regard to unpaid motor vehicle excise, the collector ultimately can mark the taxpayer at the Registry of Motor Vehicles, which would affect the taxpayer's renewal of license and registration. The collector also issues municipal lien certificates, MLCs, to document liens on the real property as of certain date. MLCs are usually requested when real property is being sold or a mortgage is being refinanced. In some communities, the collector has broader collection responsibilities and is called a city or town collector. This means the collector collects not just taxes, but all accounts due to the municipality, example water and sewer bills. The treasurer is the custodian of all municipal money and manages all debt of the municipality. Outside departments turn over receipts to the treasurer who, like the collector, is a bonded official. The treasurer is responsible for the deposit, investment, and disbursement of municipal funds. The treasurer works with the community's financial advisor and bond counsel when debt will be issued. The treasurer negotiates borrowings and signs debt instruments. Debt can be in the form of bonds, long-term, or notes, short-term. After the collector has made a tax taking, the parcel is transferred to a tax title account on the books of the community. Tax titles are the responsibility of the treasurer who, if unsuccessful in obtaining payment, files foreclosure petitions in land court. In addition to these duties, the treasurer manages payroll and administers payroll deductions and withholdings. The treasurer is in constant contact with the retirement board and outside vendors like insurance providers. Cities and towns have a legislative branch. In towns, it is the town meeting. In cities, it is the city council or board of aldermen. The legislative branch is the municipality's appropriating authority, which adopts a budget and authorizes debt, and has lawmaking authority through the enactment of ordinances and bylaws. The city council plays a role in tax policy by placing Proposition 2.5 questions on the ballot with the mayor's approval, and by allocating the tax levy under the classification law with the mayor's approval. The town accountant, or city auditor, is the official who records all the financial transactions of the municipality, such as revenues, expenditures, appropriations, and debt. The accountant city auditor uses this information to prepare financial reports like the balance sheet, Schedule A, and the statement of indebtedness. The accountant city auditor also prepares interim reports during the fiscal year to assist in budgeting, and also notifies departments monthly of unspent and unencumbered appropriation balances. The accountant city auditor approves bills for payment, and monitor spending to assure that goods have been delivered and services have been rendered. Expenditures are not approved if payment would be fraudulent, unlawful, or excessive. In towns only, the accountant is the custodian of all municipal contracts. For more information, resources, and contact information, please visit mass.gov/DLS.